Howdy everyone, my name is Griffin Furlong. I'm a professional civil engineer, and I get a ton of questions from engineering students on what laptops they should get. And it's actually always hard to answer them because I've always been an Apple product user. I've had a MacBook throughout my time in school and even here now as I'm creating this video. So for the loyal Apple product fans out there, I wanted to introduce Parallels. Parallels is a program that lets you run native Windows programs on your Mac. I've been using Parallels for a little over 4 months, and we've decided to team together because I think it's a great product and I wanted to showcase in this video the performance of Parallels and see if it's a right fit for you. In this video, I'll cover just basic functionality. We'll look into the coherence mode that Parallels offers. We'll be testing a heavy AutoCAD Civil 3D file. We'll edit the surface, the profile, we'll draw pipe networks, and then we'll open up some multiple programs simultaneously and test the compute power. If you do stick around and think that this is a right fit for you, there's a link in my description where you can get 50% off your first year. But I'm ready to dive into it, so let's get to it. All right, guys, I think before I even start, let me go over some of the parameters of my computer. So I have an Apple MacBook M4 Pro, 24 gigabytes of RAM, and this is a 14-core CPU, 20-core GPU, 1 terabyte of storage. I'm using Parallels version 26.0.1. It is the Pro edition. All right, so I wanted to showcase just some of the basic functionalities of Parallels Desktop, that way that you're familiar with it. So once you go through the installation process and download Parallels Desktop, you'll then be able to open up your Windows 11 operating system. Here's the Parallels Desktop icon. I'm going to go ahead and just click that and show you how we can start running Windows native programs. All right, now sometimes you'll get this pop-up window that it's suspended. We'll just click the resume button or the play button. And do you see how it said switching to coherence? So the cool thing about Parallels Desktop is if you do coherence mode, it morphs your Mac operating system with your Windows 11 operating system. So here it's like I'm just visualizing my Mac. However, I am running Windows 11. It's pretty interesting. Now, if you really didn't like this and you like to keep your brain separate or your operating system separate, you can go up here to the View tab and you can exit coherence. This kind of allows you to separate your Windows operating system from your Mac. But I kind of do like coherence, so I'm going to go back to coherence because it makes me feel like I'm actually using my Mac. So I'm going to go to Windows 11 here, and let's open up Civil 3D. So I think Civil 3D is going to be a very great test. I'm going to try not to edit or clip this video just so you can actually see the performance of the computer. So let's see how long it takes. I'm probably gonna have like a lot of awkward pauses and mess ups, but oh well. All right, so I do have the free version of AutoCAD Civil 3D. I'm running a test trial. And the reason why I wanted to use Civil 3D is because we are going to be opening up a pretty hefty file that has AutoCAD Civil 3D surfaces, profiles, storm networks, corridors. So if this computer and Parallels can handle a drawing file like that, it can definitely handle a lot of other program drawing files. But I think that's the biggest question that students are trying to answer. Like, will this program in this MacBook actually be able to handle some of the programs that I'm going to use at my engineering program, which is typically, SolidWorks. You might use Civil 3D, MathCAD, MATLAB. I mean, if it can handle this drawing, it's going to be able to handle a lot. So let's dive into it. All right, so let's open up this drawing right here. Yes, we're going to open up a read-only file. Let's see how long it takes to load. That was actually pretty quick. Even my work computer sometimes can struggle with that. All right, so let's move around a little bit. Okay, initially it was kind of glitchy, but we're going to move this cursor around. Okay, now it's starting to respond. So pretty good response time. Just to prove to you guys that we have a lot of data in here, I can go to my tool space. We got some point groups in here. I mean, we got everything. We got an existing grade surface, final grade surface, got a couple of alignments, and then we even have a pipe network. Now again, this video is not about how to do an engineering tutorial for Stormwater or AutoCAD. This is purely performance based. I want to showcase how well Parallels in this MacBook can handle a hefty drawing file size. So let's actually just run some like random commands. Let's do circle. Let's see the response time for a circle. Let's see the response time for drawing some polylines in here, maybe doing an offset of 5 feet. Sure, why not? Okay, pretty good response times of commands. Let's do a zoom window. Let's zoom into this profile right here. Now let's actually go in and edit this profile. So let's click this profile grade line, which again is a Civil 3D object. I'm going to go to Geometry Editor. Going to open up this editor right here. And of course, we're never going to build a road like this, but let's just start throwing in a whole bunch of random grades. Let's test its functionality. The program is reacting very quickly. I'm actually really impressed with this. I've been an AutoCAD user for like 8 years. This is pretty fast. That was really, really fast. Okay. Well, what else can we do? We can go and maybe manipulate some of the EG styles. I'm really impressed with the response time. That's probably going to be a continuous thing that I say because I'm already impressed. I mean, this is a pretty huge site. So let's manipulate some of this surface. So here I have the surface highlighted. I know it's a surface because I'm in this 10 surface ribbon tab up here, and I'm going to change the style. This is a really big test because sometimes when you change the style, it can really get that GPU crunching because of the graphics in here. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So let's go ahead and change the surface style to contours and triangles. That's going to show a whole bunch of data points. So let's see how quickly it responds. That was almost instant. That was almost instant. That's actually pretty crazy, guys. Do you see all of these data points in here? I mean, this is like a whole bunch of points and triangles. So if you don't know about AutoCAD, when you create surfaces, it's basically a triangular network. So it's a series of points, and they're all trying to triangulate to each other and speak to each other to create this surface. So let's zoom into somewhere. I mean, the response time is crazy. Now, I never recommend that you do this, but we're doing this just to get the performance out of it. I'm going to go and just edit the surface. So I can go ahead and delete lines and do pretty much whatever I want here just to kind of see the speed and the ease. So let's select some of these. Let's select some of these lines. Let's press OK. I'm just going to like really screw up this whole drawing, but it's good to see the speed. I'm going to press exit. Wow. I'm pretty impressed with this. I mean, that was a very, very good gauntlet of testing because typically when you're dealing with big surface files like this, it can take a few seconds, few minutes sometimes, depending on your computer, but this is handling it very well. I'm going to do a no display now. All right, let's go to test number 3. I forget what test we're on, but test number 3 is definitely a pipe network. Pipe networks have a lot of Civil 3D data to them. You know, we're giving them inverts, rim elevations. They're also tied to a surface and a profile. So let's kind of test this functionality here. So here we have this drainage sewer all in blue. I'm going to go ahead and just add a whole bunch of random pipes to it. So I'm going to go to Edit Pipe Network, and let me just start clicking around. I'm just going to start adding a whole bunch of networks. So that was pretty quick. Let's, I wonder if this is already projected in the profile. Maybe we can do a projection of this sewer into this profile. Let's see what we got going on here, though. I need to see. Okay, so this is the profile of that road. So we should be able to project some of this drainage file. So let's see, I'm gonna select this, right click, draw parts in profile view. Now I have to select my profile. Let's click it in here. And then it showed up. And it showed up so quick. That's crazy. We even have a corridor in here. And I don't really use corridors that much, but corridors can be very hefty. Like I'm talking very hefty. So yeah, this corridor is built on an alignment in a subassembly here. So I'm going to right click and rebuild all just to kind of test the performance. And that was pretty quick. I'm going to do one more test and build a little mini FG surface. So I'm going to draw some polylines here. I'm just going to draw a polyline around here. I'm going to go right click surfaces, create surface. I'm going to do FG. And then I'm going to make a feature line out of this line. So create feature lines from objects. Sure. Click that feature line that I just made. Elevation editor. I'm going to give it all a value of like 40. I don't know. I'm not doing real engineering here. But I'm going to add that line as a break line into here. Let's add. And then it made a little surface. Let's change the style a little bit. Let's do maybe contours and triangles. So you see how we created a surface, and that all happened really, really fast. It's all triangulating together now. That's interesting. I think another test that I want to put it up against is really just doing some plotting and opening up Bluebeam, seeing how those interact with each other, opening up multiple programs. So let's kind of figure that one out. So this is a pretty good test. Plotting can definitely make the computer think for a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and type in plot. Let's do DWG to PDF. Let's see. I want like a full, like normal plan, which I usually do. I'm going to go ahead and apply to layout because I might have to modify this here. Yeah. Let me pull this viewport right there. That was pretty quick. Let me actually go in here. Let me do zoom extents. Man, I'm really impressed with this. Plot. All right, let's do AutoCAD CTB. Apply to layout. Okay. Let's do intro. Sure. Yes. Let's see how long it takes to plot. And now it's opening up in Bluebeam. So let's kind of test out this functionality of having two programs open. I mean, that was pretty quick, guys. That was pretty quick. If you're a Bluebeam user, now you can have Bluebeam on your Mac because you have parallels, which is very important for like doing quantity takeoffs. So like if you really wanted to get some quantities of, that sewer that you built, you can go and, do certain measurements in here. Obviously you have to understand what the scale is, but I mean, so far I'm pretty impressed with all of the functionality here. Let's open up like multiple PDFs and then run another batch plot and let's see, how long that takes. So it's able to handle multiple PDFs. There's even a 45-page construction plan set here. We have our plot that we just did. All those opened up relatively fast. Let's skim through some pages. Okay, little lag, just a little bit. Just a little bit of lag, but still pretty good. Not bad for a fairly large drawing set of 45 pages. Skim through some of the pages here. Yep, that's relatively quick. I think some of the last things I'm going to do is let's just do some annotations. I know annotations can bog down the computer. So I'm going to go ahead and annotate this entire drainage pipe network. So let's do pipe network. Let's do entire network plan. And I think I can just select any of these. Man, I mean, am I even surprised anymore? I mean, this is crazy. It's so smooth, it's fast, and I'm not just saying this like guys, I've been using Civil 3D for 8 years. And even sometimes, even at work with my computer that I have, it's not even this fast. And I'm not just saying that. So whoever said that you can't run these hefty programs on Mac, I mean, that's kind of outrageous at this point. I want to go to my task manager and kind of just see how the CPU is handling all this. So Windows 11, let's go to our task manager. Let's see how everything's performing here. And by no means am I any sort of software or computer wizard, nor can I even tell you like if this is handling it properly. But just for the tech wizards out there, I mean, this is, how much CPU is using, memory. Here's some of the performance right now. To keep in mind, I am running QuickTime Player to record the screen, GarageBand, I have a microphone connected, I have Windows 11 operating system up here, Bluebeam, Civil 3D, Google Chrome. So I have a handful of applications that are currently running right now, and this is the current CPU percent utilization. I'm actually not really sure if that's good or not. But based on the performance of Civil 3D, this hefting drawing file, us opening up multiple PDFs, the smoothness that I've experienced from it, it's passing the eye test for sure. So I guess let's maybe like do a few more things, see what that CPU is as I'm doing certain stuff. So let me click that surface again and edit the surface. You can see some active CPU usage. All the nerds out there can tell me if it's good or bad. Now it's starting to think a little bit more because me editing this surface like I'm doing, that is a lot of thought process. Okay, we're starting to finally experience a little bit of glitchiness. Caveat here is that that is a large amount of surface area that we're taking away from the surface, and surfaces are always the most big and bulky. Now let's see if I didn't want to edit that much of a surface. Maybe it was just a little bit. Let's see, let me double click, delete line. Okay, so if you do smaller areas, it's not thinking so hard. It really just struggled with the large amounts of chunks that were taken away. So now I wanted to share my overall impressions of the program. And again, like I said, I've been using this for about 4 months. It's been pretty seamless. I was actually very impressed with this because as I'm doing this AutoCAD Civil 3D video, I also have GarageBand open, my Notes app, my browser open, and I was really impressed with the speed and functionality. I mean, even typical computers that you get at your work can sometimes even be really laggy when you're dealing with surfaces. Sometimes it even takes the program a while to open, but with what we showcased here today, it was actually pretty smooth. I mean, if there's any gripes at all, I would say sometimes it was a little bit slow with the command, like when I'm typing the command in Civil 3D. But overall, the response kind of picked up after I did the command. And I always have to be honest here. Sometimes when I open up parallels and start parallels in Windows 11, I would say there's been less than a handful of times where sometimes it takes a little bit to update the program. Like I'll click in the program and I'm unsure like when Windows 11 is updating because it doesn't clearly state it. I wish I could show you that, but I was actually dealing with that right before I started the video. But it isn't one of those things where it's enough to just throw me completely off and not want to use the program. I would say the benefits definitely outweigh any negatives that I've experienced. Now let's talk about the pricing options. The standard package is $99.99 a year. The Pro Edition, which is what I use and what I featured on in this video, is $119.99 a year. Then finally you have the Business Edition, which is $149.99 a year. Keep in mind all students will get 50% off, and I also have an affiliate link in the description that will give you 35% off. That's honestly all I have for today, guys. I hope this helps. I think it is a valuable option for students. Maybe look into it, see if it's right for you. But that's all I got for today. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.